2 women, 1 man 100,000 years ago. Okay, picture this. A campfire. Pitch black all around it. Somewhere out there, a hyena is laughing. Actually laughing. Nature's worst neighbor. 30 people sit around this fire. They've known each other their whole lives. No secrets, no strangers, no, hey, I don't think we've met. Small talk. Everybody's business has been everybody's business since birth. And in this group, 2 women keep looking at the same guy. Not obviously. They're not thirsty. They're just noticing things. One sees him give his last piece of meat to an old woman who can't hunt anymore. The other sees him fixing a broken spear at midnight when everyone else is asleep. You're picturing a love triangle right now. A campfire soap opera, 2 rivals, 1 hunk, dramatic music. Stop. Delete that image. Because what actually happened is way weirder, way smarter, and by the end of this video, you're never going to look at, he's just my type, the same way again. Here's the annoying part about this whole investigation. You can't carbon date a feeling. Archaeologists find bones. Bones tell you someone's age, maybe their cause of death. Bones do not come with a little sticky note that says, this guy had 2 women fighting over him, here's why. So scientists cheat. They study modern hunter-gatherer groups, like the Hadza in Tanzania, because their daily life is the closest surviving window into how our ancestors actually lived. And here's the part that made researchers sit up straight in their chairs. Totally unrelated groups on completely different continents who have never so much as waved at each other across an ocean show the exact same behavior. That's not coincidence. That's basically ancient humans, leaving us a cheat code carved into the species itself. But before we get back to our fire, quick detour, because it turns out humans didn't invent this behavior. Wait, the chimps are doing this too? Yeah, sit with that for a second. Chimpanzees don't have campfires. They don't have gossip circles or Sunday dinners. But researchers embedded with wild chimp troops have watched females quietly clock which males share food, which ones protect infants that literally aren't their own kids, which ones stay chill during a fight instead of losing it. So this whole silently evaluating someone's character over months thing? Not a human invention. It might predate language itself. It might predate us. Which means our 2 women at the fire aren't doing something romantic. They're running software that's millions of years old. Cute. Terrifying. Moving on, you're picturing the biggest guy in camp right now. 6-pack. Killed a mammoth solo. Screams before he throws the spear like it's a WWE entrance. Wrong. Delete that guy too. The Hadza evidence says the man who actually mattered wasn't the one who occasionally hauled home something enormous and got a hero's welcome. It was the guy who showed up literally every single day with something, a bird, some honey, a fistful of roots that taste, presumably, terrible. Basically, the man with perfect attendance beats the man with 1 legendary highlight reel. Sorry to every action movie ever made. Why? Because there's no fridge. No backup grocery run. Reliable keeps kids alive. Occasionally impressive gets you a statue after you're already dead. And here's the twist inside the twist. Any big kill got split with the entire camp automatically. Nobody could hoard meat even if they wanted to. So being generous wasn't a personality quirk people speculated about at brunch. It was public record. A permanent, unskippable Yelp review with 30 verified reviewers. The meat was never the prize, it was the receipts. But here's a version of this story that never makes it into the highlight reel. The incredible hunter that nobody wanted. Anthropologists studying the ache in Paraguay found genuinely excellent hunters who also had reputations for being selfish or short-tempered. And these guys got passed over. Repeatedly. Skill alone did not save them. Which tells you something huge about our 2 women at the fire. They weren't grading 1 test. They were running several exams at once, silently, for years. And you could ace the hunting final and still flunk the whole class. Harsh, efficient, kind of iconic, honestly. So if it wasn't 1 man being judged on 1 skill, who else was grading this exam? Quick question. If this guy was this valuable, why wasn't every single camp a chaotic reality show of women throwing hands over him? Because neither woman was deciding solo. The entire camp had already voted. Nobody took attendance, nobody raised hands, but the verdict existed anyway. If a couple fought constantly, everyone at that fire felt it in their bones. If someone got careless near a lion, that risk landed on all 30 people, not just the careless one. So there was nothing left to discover about this man that night. Every single person around that fire already had his full file. His temper, his generosity, his behavior under pressure. Years of data logged by 30 independent witnesses with nothing better to do than pay attention to each other forever. Which means, if there's nothing left to find out, how do you even compete? Hold on, this is where it gets good. Because you'd assume the answer is drama, confrontation, a hair-pulling contest by the fire. Nope. Research on female competition in humans and other primates shows physical fights between women over a man are actually rare. Rarer than you'd think, given how many reality shows disagree. So what were they actually doing? Leveling up, separately, quietly, almost competitively polite. Fast forward a year, one woman becomes the person everyone turns to for finding water in a drought. Certified legend status. The other becomes the one who can calm a screaming toddler and knows exactly which plant breaks a fever. Neither shows up in a photo, neither is hot in any way TikTok would recognize. But both make each woman someone the entire camp cannot afford to lose. Which means this whole time, there was a third silent evaluation happening. The man watching them, exactly as hard as they were watching him. Did looks even matter? Yes, but not how you think. Across cultures, one thing keeps showing up everywhere researchers look. Attraction to visible signs of health, clear skin, energy, physical vitality. Not because anyone at this fire understood biology, just because brains evolved to flag, this person looks like they'll survive the winter, at which fair is a genuinely low bar we've somehow raised to designer sneakers and jawline filters. Even a scar didn't automatically make someone a catch. Sorry again to every action movie. The scar meant nothing alone. What mattered was the story, and only the people who'd actually been there for it at that same fire for years knew what it meant. And the chiseled jaw equals alpha genes theory that populates approximately 4 million YouTube thumbnails? The actual evidence is shaky at best. Some populations show a slight preference, plenty show none. What consistently ranked highest across dozens of cultures? Kindness, reliability, intelligence. The exact three things our two women had been quietly logging in this man for years. Independently confirmed, thousands of years later, by researchers who never met either of them. Deeply unsatisfying if you were hoping ancient humans were shallower than us. They weren't. Rude, honestly. Now here's a plot twist. He was also being graded. In several hunter-gatherer societies studied, courtship involved small, deliberate gifts. A well-made tool, a rare pigment, extra food during a rough week. Not decoration, a signal. I notice what you need and I can provide it without being asked. And here's the part that flips the whole story on its head. In multiple documented cultures, this went both directions. Women gave these signals too, which means the scene at our fire was never two women being judged by one man. It was three people simultaneously auditioning each other using the same currency. Years of consistent, boring, unglamorous behavior that nobody could fake for even a single week. Romantic? Not exactly. Effective? Extremely. Then everything changes. One of the two women stops eating much, gets tired easily. A few weeks later, yes, she's pregnant. And just like that, the entire evaluation at this fire gets rewritten, because raising a human child was never something one person could pull off solo. Human babies are biologically a mess. A baby giraffe stands up within an hour of being born. A human baby cannot even hold up its own head. For years, that kid needs constant, exhausting help. So groups like the one at our fire evolved something researchers call cooperative breeding. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, random unrelated adults, all pitching in. Many scientists think this is a major reason human brains got so big in the first place. Basically, our species got smarter because babysitting became a group project. Which means our pregnant woman wasn't just choosing a man months earlier. She was quietly enrolling in an entire support network. And that network is about to matter more than anyone at that fire could have guessed. Here's a detail that sounds like trivia, but genuinely reshapes this whole story. Human females are among the only females on Earth who live for decades after they can no longer have children. Researchers call this the grandmother hypothesis. The idea that older women who helped raise grandchildren dramatically boosted that family line's odds of survival. Which means somewhere near this exact fire, an older woman, a mother, an aunt, a grandmother, nobody's been talking about this whole time, was already part of the equation. Our two women weren't just being judged on the man, they were being judged on the entire multi-generational crew standing quietly behind them. And that crew is about to become the only thing standing between disaster and survival. What if this man goes hunting one morning and just doesn't come back? If a child's survival hinged entirely on one parent, the odds would be brutal. Instead, the group had a built-in backup system. Other adults stepped in automatically, not guaranteed, not easy, but it dramatically shifted the odds in that child's favor. Here's the twist that changes how you should picture our pregnant woman. In several documented societies, if something happened to the father, it usually wasn't a new partner who stepped up first. It was her brothers. Which means the real safety net around this pregnancy was never just the man she picked. It was the family she was born into, quietly running in the background the entire time. Something both women at this fire, if you'd asked them, probably understood far better than the man they were both watching. Wait, what? Was this even a one-man story? Here's where a popular assumption about our fire completely falls apart. There was no single universal system. Both existed, depending entirely on circumstances. In groups where resources were scarce and spread evenly, one man usually supported one partner. There simply wasn't enough surplus lying around for more. In groups where resources piled up unevenly, one man supporting multiple partners showed up more often. Neither was the natural human default. Both were reactions to whatever specific pressures a specific fire in a specific place happened to be dealing with. Which means our two women were not necessarily playing a winner-takes-all game. So let's go back to the fire, one last time. 2 women, 1 man, 30 witnesses, 0 secrets. It was never a love triangle. It was 30 people running a years-long, unpaid, unglamorous background check. Because in a group this small, in a world this dangerous, misjudging someone's character wasn't just heartbreak. It could get you and everyone you loved killed. Neither woman understood evolution, hormones, or hunting economics. They were using the only tool they had: years of watching someone behave consistently in front of a community too small to hide anything from ever for their entire lives. Who shared? Who stayed calm? Who could be trusted with a child? Whose family actually showed up when everything went wrong? That's the whole story, not a romance. A survival record, written in behavior instead of words, read by an entire camp instead of one person, kept for years instead of a few good dates. And here's the part that should genuinely stop you for a second. That fire went out 100,000 years ago. The people, the camp, the hyena laughing in the dark, all of it gone, completely unrecoverable. But the instinct those 2 women were running that night, the quiet tracking, the patient watching, the refusal to trust someone until they'd proven it for years, that instinct never went out. It's still burning in you right now, whether you've ever built a real fire in your life or not. We don't sit at campfires anymore. We've got phones, apps, profile pictures, filtered selfies. But strip all of that away and we're all still asking our ancestors' exact same question in the dark. Who can I actually trust?